Hello everyone, welcome back to Dugout Daily. I'm Charlie and today we have another video. In this one we are previewing the match where Manchester City are looking to retain our crown at home against West Ham on Sunday afternoon, as the Premier League title race will be decided on the final day for just the third time in the last 11 years. Before we get going, make sure to like, share and subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. Dugout Daily, the football channel. Hit the Apex, the F1 channel. And at MCFC Hibs on Twitter. We will get going then. And Pep Guardiola's men are just 90 minutes away from a slice of English football history. But the Hammers will endeavour to spoil the Etihad party in a contest that will mark David Moyes' swan song. We will start then with the Premier League form of both teams, as Manchester City have won our last 6 Premier League games, as West Ham have only won 1 of their last 5, with that run being a win, 2 losses, a draw, a loss and a win. Last time out for Manchester City was a 2-0 away win at Spurs on Tuesday night at 8 o'clock in the Premier League. Last Saturday at 3 o'clock in the Premier League, West Ham beat Luton 3-1 at home. Manchester City have scored 93 Premier League goals this season, whereas West Ham have scored 59. We will move then to the head-to-head and start on November the 28th, 2021, as Manchester City won 2-1. Ilkay Gundogan scored a 33rd minute opener as Fernandinho made it 2-0 in the 90th minute. Manuel Lanzini got a consolation for West Ham in the 94th minute. In the book that day for Manchester City was Aymeric Laporte in the 29th minute and Joao Cancelo in the 61st minute. And then on May the 15th, 2022 at 2 o'clock, it finished West Ham 2, Manchester City 2, as Jarrod Bowen scored a brace in the 24th and 45th minutes. Jack Grealish got one back for Manchester City in the 49th minute, as Vladimir Coufal scored a 69th minute own goal. In the book that day for West Ham was Jarrod Bowen in the 32nd minute, Vladimir Coufal in the 58th minute, and Lucas Fabianski in the 60th minute. In the book for Manchester City that day was Gabriel Jesus in the 94th minute. On August the 7th, 2022 at 4:30, it finished West Ham 0, Manchester City 2, as Erling Braut Haaland scored a brace with a 36th minute penalty and a 65th minute goal. Joao Cancelo was booked for Manchester City in the 48th minute. And then on May the 3rd, 2023 at 8 o'clock, it finished Manchester City 3, West Ham 0, with goals by Nathan Ake in the 49th minute, Erling Braut Haaland in the 70th minute, and Phil Foden in the 85th minute. And then the last time these two sides met was on September the 16th, 2023 at 3 o'clock, as it finished West Ham 1, Manchester City 3. James Ward-Prowse opened the scoring for West Ham in the 36th minute, as Jeremy Doku scored in the 46th minute, Bernardo Silva scored in the 76th minute, and Erling Haaland scored in the 86th minute. In the book that day for West Ham was Edson Alvarez in the 38th minute, Thomas Soucek in the 79th minute, and Lucas Paqueta in the 96th minute. And in the book that day for Manchester City was Josko Vardiel in the 47th minute, and Rodri in the 89th minute. We will move to the form then, and Manchester City have won 6 in a row, with that run being a 1-0 win at Wembley against Chelsea, a 4-0 win away at Brighton, a 2-0 win away at Nottingham Forest, a 5-1 win at home to Wolves, a 4-0 win away at Fulham, and a 2-0 win away at Spurs. West Ham have won 1 of their last 6, with that run being a 2-0 loss at home to Fulham, a 1-1 draw at home to Bayer Leverkusen, a 5-2 loss away at Crystal Palace, a 2-2 draw at home to Liverpool, a 5-0 loss away at Chelsea, and a 3-1 win at home to Luton. Manchester City's top scorer this season is Erling Haaland, as he scored 27 Premier League goals and 40 in all competitions. His last league goal was away at Tottenham on Tuesday. He scored 5 braces, a hat-trick and a quadruple. And West Ham's top scorer is Jared Bowen, as he scored 16 Premier League goals and 23 in all competitions. His last league goal was at home to Liverpool on April the 27th. He scored a hat-trick this season. We will move to Pep Guardiola's verdict on the final day drama in the Premier League title race then, as Pep Guardiola has delivered his verdict on what to expect from Manchester City's final Premier League fixture of the season at home against West Ham on Sunday. The reigning champions have been involved in a fierce title battle with Arsenal throughout the season, and we know that victory over the Hammers at the Etihad Stadium will clinch an unprecedented fourth consecutive English top-flight title. Manchester City are in buoyant mood as we have won each of our last 8 matches, including a 2-0 win at Tottenham in midweek, to leave the league leaders 2 points clear of the Gunners in second with just a game remaining. The citizens are no strangers to final day drama in the Premier League, with arguably the most iconic moment in the division's history taking place in 2012, when Sergio Aguero scored a dramatic stoppage time winner against QPR to clinch the title on goal difference at the expense of rivals Manchester United. Manchester City were also given a scare on the final day of the 21-22 season when Aston Villa raced into a 2-goal lead before Ilkay Gundogan's brace inspired a remarkable comeback to help Guardiola's men finish above Liverpool to win another title. Guardiola is ready for a tough West Ham test. David Moyes' West Ham now stand in Manchester City's way of making history, and Guardiola has admitted that his team could be involved in another nail-biting, drama-filled final day of the season. Speaking at a press conference on Friday, Guardiola said everyone would love to be in our position, but it won't be easy. I have the feeling it will be an Aston Villa game. We would love to be 3-0 up, but it isn't going to happen. West Ham will be ready to beat us. I don't have any doubt about that. It was the same with Aston Villa 2 years ago. They were in the same position. They didn't have anything to play for, and we know what happened. What happened against Aston Villa and QPR with the Aguero moment and the Edin Dzeko moment. I'm ready for a tough game against West Ham. I want to put in the minds of the players. Look at Tottenham on Tuesday, how they fought for every ball. It was incredible aggression and commitment. It's going to happen the same with West Ham. Destiny's in our hands. Ourselves and our people have to be ready to support from the first minute and be with us. Guardiola has said we have to be perfect to win the Premier League title. Guardiola has insisted that his Manchester City side must be perfect against West Ham if we're to come out on top on Sunday. Adding, we want to experience winning the title again and we have to perform. You can't think we want to win it. You have to do something to earn it. You have to be resilient in the bad moments like what happened against Aston Villa in 2022 and against Spurs in the last game. Don't talk about the consequences, just what you have to do to win, to control it, the transitions, the coolness, the set pieces, the long balls, how you defend every single ball. There's a lot of stuff that West Ham demand that you have to do, and you have to do it perfect. These are the only things on my mind. I don't want to play the game thinking about the consequences, what will happen if we have to be focused more than ever and feel the support of our people. This is what we need to think about. If you're waiting for them to drop points and become champions, you are wrong. If you're thinking Arsenal are going to drop points at Old Trafford last week, forget about it. If you're thinking Everton are going to do something at Arsenal on Sunday, forget about it. Manchester City will be confident of success against West Ham as we've won 13 and drawn 3 of our last 16 Premier League meetings with the Hammers, while we haven't lost at the Etihad in our last 43 games in all competitions, which is a remarkable club record run. We will move to the match preview then, as thanks to an impressive 22-game unbeaten league run, including 18 wins and 4 draws over the past 5 months, the stage is set for Manchester City to etch our name into the history books and achieve something no English team has ever done before. Heading down the home straight, the citizens have put together one of our inevitable trademark winning runs, one of which was extended to 8 on Tuesday when we secured a crucial 2-0 win at Tottenham Golden Boot chasing Erling Haaland scored twice in the second half, but it was sub-keeper Stefan Ortega who was the unlikely hero, as he made some key saves in the closing stages to keep the title race in City's hands. Despite the best efforts of title challengers Arsenal, who have dropped just 4 points in their last 17 league games of 2024, Manchester City sit pretty at the top of the table with 88 points, 2 clear of the second place Gunners, who welcome Everton to the Emirates Stadium for their final fixture. Manchester City have been the dominant force at the summit of English football for some time, as we've won 5 of the last 6 Premier League titles, including each of the last 3. The master plan of the Oasis-supported citizens has been in place ever since the arrival of Pep Guardiola, who takes his team into Sunday's clash with West Ham, knowing that victory will see us crowned English top-flight champions for an unprecedented 4th season in a row. Otherwise, we just need to match Arsenal's result to clinch top spot. If Manchester City wish to ease any potential pre-match nerves, we should remember the fact that we're unbeaten in each of our last 43 home games in all competitions, which is a club record, while we haven't lost any of our last 16 league meetings with West Ham. History also favours the citizens, as the team sitting top entering the final day has ended up lifting the trophy on each occasion. Almost a year on from finishing 14th in the Premier League before going on to celebrate Europa Conference League glory, West Ham are guaranteed to finish 9th in the top flight this season and will subsequently miss out on European qualification. The Hammers won only 4 of their first 23 games of 2024 in all competitions prior to last weekend's home meeting with Luton, and a third defeat in 4 seemed on the cards when Albert Sambi Lokonga put the Hatters into a half-time lead. However, James Ward-Prowse, Thomas Soucek and youngster George Murphy were all on target after the break to secure a 3-1 comeback win and give David Moyes a fitting send-off at the London Stadium. Moyes' 4-year reign in his second stint as West Ham boss will come to an end on Sunday, and although he's keen to finish on a high and claim his first ever win as a manager at the Etihad, the Scotsman's under no illusions of the size of the task at hand against Manchester City, and has even joked that it would be difficult to stop their under-14s winning the title. The 61-year-old has had his fair share of managerial success against Manchester City over the years, which bodes well for West Ham and also Arsenal, as he's only ever won more games against Fulham than he has against the citizens in all competitions. Against Fulham, he's won 20, and against the citizens, he's won 15. As for the Hammers, they've lost 15 of their last 17 top-flight visits to the Etihad, the only exceptions being a 1-1 draw in January 2008 and a 2-1 win in September 2015, while they've conceded at least 1 in all 17 Premier League away meetings with Manchester City. Only Spurs have played more games at a specific venue in the division without ever keeping a clean sheet, with 18 at the Emirates Stadium. Next up then, we will move to Manchester City's team news. Manchester City have announced that keeper Ederson will miss the club's last 2 matches of the season due to injury. The 30-year-old was named in the Citizens' starting lineup for the 43rd time this season across all competitions when we locked horns with Tottenham in North London on Tuesday night. However, Ederson was withdrawn midway through the second half following a forceful collision with Spurs defender Christian Romero at the back post. Following a lengthy period receiving treatment on the pitch, Ederson was deemed fit to continue by the club's medical team. But just a few minutes later, they had a change of heart and decided that it was best for the Brazilian to be brought off on the 69th minute mark. Ederson was visibly enraged at being withdrawn and vented his anger as he made his way to the bench, but his replacement Stefan Ortega inspired Manchester City to a crucial 2-0 win over Spurs as he made a number of important saves, while Erling Haaland at the other end scored both goals for the title-chasing visitors. After the match, manager Pep Guardiola confirmed that Ederson isn't dealing with concussion, but he has a problem with his eye and was advised by the club's doctors to make the sub as the keeper couldn't see properly. Manchester City have since released a statement on our official website confirming that Ederson has sustained a small fracture of his eye socket and will miss the rest of the season. Manchester City can confirm that Ederson will miss the final 2 games of the season due to a small fracture of his eye socket, a statement read. The Brazilian keeper suffered the injury during our 2-0 win at Tottenham on Tuesday night. On Tuesday evening, he has since undergone scans of the affected area that have revealed a small fracture to the right eye socket. The injury will prevent Ederson from playing any further part in the remaining games of the season. Everyone at the club wishes Ederson a speedy recovery. Ederson has now been ruled out of Manchester City's Premier League title decider at home against West Ham on Sunday. The Citizens currently sit top of the table and 2 points clear of title challengers Arsenal in second, and Guardiola's side know that a victory against the Hammers at the Etihad Stadium will clinch a record 4th consecutive title. Ederson will also miss the second successive Manchester Derby FA Cup final against rivals Manchester United on May the 25th, with Manchester City bidding to retain the trophy and potentially complete another domestic double. In the absence of Ederson, Ortega will play between the sticks, and the German revealed plenty of praise from his manager and teammates following his superb cameo appearance off the bench against Spurs. Ortega has made 18 appearances for Manchester City in all competitions this season, including 4 outings as a sub. He has saved 11 of the 13 shots on target he's faced when coming on as a sub in the Premier League this season, which is 85%, including each of the last 11 in a row. Meanwhile, Manchester City is set to assess playmaker Kevin De Bruyne before Sunday's clash with West Ham after he picked up a knock to his Achilles in midweek. Manchester City will be crowned Premier League champions for a record 4th successive season if we beat West Ham at the Etihad Stadium in our final fixture of the season on Sunday. The Citizens have one hand on the title after securing a 2-0 win at Tottenham on Tuesday night, extending our impressive unbeaten run across all competitions to 34. Pep Guardiola's side currently sit top of the table and 2 points clear of rivals Arsenal in second, and we know that maximum points secured against the Hammers will clinch the title. Here I have rounded up the latest injury and suspension news ahead of the contest with West Ham in what will be David Moyes' last game as Hammers manager. Ederson was on the receiving end of a forceful collision with Christian Romero in midweek and was withdrawn midway through the second half, with Guardiola stating after the match that the keeper didn't have concussion but had a problem with his eye. The Brazilian has since been ruled out for the rest of the season due to a fractured eye socket, with Stefan Ortega waiting in the wings to take his place. Kevin De Bruyne was taken off shortly after he was caught on his Achilles by Spurs' Pape Matar Sarr. The playmaker has since revealed that he's all right but really sore, so an assessment of his condition will be made prior to kick-off. Manchester City will be without first-choice keeper Ederson for Sunday's Premier League title decider against West Ham at the Etihad Stadium. The Citizens are bidding to win a record 4th successive title and announced on Thursday that Ederson suffered a fractured eye socket in the 2-0 win at Tottenham on Wednesday and will subsequently miss the rest of the season. Stefan Ortega replaced the Brazilian and inspired City to victory in North London with a number of key saves, and he's expected to start between the sticks against the Hammers. Kevin De Bruyne was withdrawn at the same time as Ederson against Spurs after sustaining a knock to his Achilles. The playmaker has since revealed that he's all right but really sore and will be assessed in training on Friday. Pep Guardiola will consider naming the same back four of Kyle Walker, Manuel Akanji, Ruben Diaz and Josko Vardiol that started in midweek, although both Nathan Ake and John Stones are waiting in the wings should their services be required. Star midfielder Rodri, who hasn't lost any of his last 49 Premier League games that he's started, could once again be joined in the middle of the pitch by Mateo Kovacic, who has started 5 of City's last 6 league games. It seems likely that De Bruyne will be fit to keep his place in an advanced midfield role alongside Phil Foden and Bernardo Silva. But if the Belgian isn't deemed ready to start, then either Jeremy Doku or Jack Grealish could return, with Foden occupying the number 10 role. Julian Alvarez is another option who could play in behind central striker Erling Haaland, who has 27 Premier League goals to his name this season, and he's 5 clear of his nearest challenger Cole Palmer with 22 in the race for the Golden Boot. So the predicted team for Manchester City is Ortega in goal, Walker, Akanji Diaz and Vardiol in defence, Rodri and Kovacic in midfield, with Bernardo, De Bruyne and Foden behind Haaland in attack. We will move to West Ham's team news then, as centre-back duo Naya Fagir with an ankle injury and Konstantinos Mavropanos with a knock are both set to be assessed ahead of kick-off, while Manchester City loanee Calvin Phillips is ineligible, but is nursing a calf strain anyway. Edson Alvarez will be pushing for a recall in central midfield, but his potential inclusion would likely see either Souček or Ward-Prowse, who scored last time out, make way. The latter was on the score sheet for the Hammers in a 3-1 defeat to Manchester City in the reverse fixture back in September. Jarrod Bowen will be hoping to add to his team high 16 Premier League goals, and he's set to be joined in attack by Mohamed Kudus, Mikel Antonio and Manchester City link Lucas Paqueta. So the predicted team for West Ham is Areola in goal, Kufal, Zuma, Ogbonna and Emerson as a back four, with Souček and Alvarez in midfield, Bowen, Kudus and Paqueta behind Antonio in attack. Finally then, we will move to the prediction, as considering the relentless nature of Manchester City's performances since the turn of the year, particularly in the last few weeks, it's difficult to back against us claiming all 3 points on Sunday. The citizens are known to make life difficult for ourselves though, and West Ham cannot be written off entirely. Indeed, the Hammers pose a threat on the counter-attack with the likes of Bowen and Kudus, but their defensive record has been woeful to say the least, as they've kept 1 clean sheet in their last 23 games. In front of a fired-up Etihad crowd, Manchester City should have the quality to outscore our opponents en route to securing another Premier League title. So my prediction for this game is Manchester City 3, West Ham 2. So that is it for this video then. Everybody, thank you all so much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. Look out there at the football channel, hit the Apex DF1 channel and at MCFC Hibs on Twitter. Everybody, thank you all so much for watching and we'll speak to you all soon. Take care and goodbye for now. Cheers everyone.